Hello, my name is XONEVANT. Today is Sunday, April the 13th, and this is your Daily Dose. All right, so when I was about 14, I went to the beach with some friends of mine, and they were pretty wealthy. So, they had all the cool toys, man. They had the boat, they had the jet skis, they had the water tubes and all that kind of stuff. Crazy, man. Stuff that, I had never been able to experience before because, my family wasn't wealthy, right? Now, my family, we always went to the beach every year, me, my brother, my mom, and my dad. And I love the beach. I love the ocean. I love the water, man. It was just a great thing. I loved going down to the pool. And me and my brother would love going down to the arcade and playing some games. The beach was just the place to be, man. We loved it. So went down there with some friends of mine. And, the plan was to hang out for the weekend. And then on Sunday, go tubing. Now, if you're unfamiliar with kind of what tubing is, basically you just have like a boat, and then you have a rope attached to the boat, and then you lay on a tube. Basically, there's all different shapes and sizes. Some of them are flat. You can lay on them. But the one that I wanted to get on, right, was the donut tube, because that's the one that I used to see on TV all the time, right? And obviously it's got a hole in the center where the water funnels through, and then it's open on all sides. And I was like, that's the one. Like, when it's my turn to tube, that's the one that I'm down with. Like, that's the one I want to be on. Now, the parents were trying to tell me, XONEVANT, look, you might want to get on this rectangular tube, the flat one, the boring one, because we have seen people, we have known of people who have gotten on the donut tube. They've never been tubing before, and their instinct is to look down through the hole at the water because you're going so fast. It's just a cool thing to do, right? And what'll happen is their mind, or I don't know what it is about the brain, but it gets hypnotized, and they'll actually fall in sometimes through the hole of the tube, and they can get hurt. And I was like, please, people, you know what I mean? You're just telling me that because you don't want me to have fun because you're an adult and I'm a kid, right? That whole thing. So I was like, nah, son, give me the donut tube. That's what I'm trying to get on today. So I get on the donut tube, and one more thing too, there's always a spotter on the back of the boat, and their job is very important because they're supposed to tell the driver of the boat what you're experiencing on the tube, right? So, if you're having a rough time, maybe there's too many waves or it's too choppy, or maybe you want to go faster, maybe you want them to go slower, you're supposed to give all these hand signals and stuff, right? You give those hand signals to the spotter, and then the spotter tells the driver, and it's like that kind of thing, right? Well, so I get on my donut tube. I just want to tell you that. That's very important for the story too. So I get on my tube, man. We're doing our thing, man. I'm probably out there for, I don't know. I mean, I'm out there for a good while, and I'm feeling like a pro. I'm feeling like I got this thing licked. So in my mind, I start hearing that lady, the mom, right, telling me that I couldn't look at the water because I fall through. Please, man. So I look down into the tube, down into the water, and yes, she was absolutely 100% correct because I did get hypnotized. I don't know if we hit a bump. I don't know if my mind just went to another planet, but I fell through the donut hole in the tube, right? And so now half of my body is under the water. Like, my top half of my body, waist up, is under the water. Then you got the tube. Then you got my waist down, which is out of the water. So I'm upside down. My feet are kicking out of the top of the tube, right? And what I'm trying to do is swim through the tube because I can't breathe. Your boy's dying, right? I'm trying to kick through the tube, but I can't kick through because the boat is going so fast that I guess the force is keeping me in one spot. Like, I can't go down any farther into the tube. So I'm drowning. Now, the spotter, who's supposed to be doing their job, is not actually doing their job. They're not even looking at me. I don't know what they're doing. They could have been looking at the other people. They could have been looking at the kid. I don't know what they were doing, but they weren't looking at you, boy. So I'm sitting there kicking, trying to get through this donut, and I can't do it, man. And they say that your life flashes before your eyes. You guys your life flashes before your eyes. No, it does, man. I saw my family. I saw, we used to have a dog. I saw him. His name was Peanut. I saw him. I saw everything, son, because I thought that day I won't gonna make it. Now, eventually, the spotter decided to do their job and told the driver that my feet were hanging out the top of the tube. And, he slowed down the boat and, obviously the force went away and I just kind of fell through. And, you know, they jumped in and got me. And I wasn't like dead or anything. It wasn't like I was dead and they had to bring me back. It wasn't that way. But obviously, if that would have kept going for longer, I could have died easily, man, because I couldn't move. I was straight immobile in the water, had no air. And look, you might be saying, well, you know, why you probably were just holding your breath, right? No big deal. Yeah, but you got to think about it. You know, most of the time when people hold their breath, they're conscious. They're like, look, I'm going to hold my breath. You know, they take a deep breath and then they go under the water. With me, I had no clue that I was about to fall in the water. So when I fell into the water, I drunk water. You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't prepared to hold my breath. So I was struggling the entire time that I was underneath the water. And, you know, they finally get me back to shore. They did call the paramedics or whatever just to make sure that I was 100% okay, and liabilities and all that kind of stuff. They called my parents and, you know, all that good stuff. And I think the only thing I really had to do was get oxygen. You know, the paramedics require me to get the oxygen or whatever. So I took that, and it wasn't even a lot of it. It was just a small amount. And I was fine. My eyes were bloodshot, you know, because I guess all the force of the waves and my eyes were open. That hurt. That hurt a lot. That was really the only thing that bothered me for the next couple of days. Was my eyes were real sensitive to light, and they just were sore. It hurt. But I was mad at the spotter for weeks, man. Mad, totally mad. And they were friends of the family, so we saw each other quite frequently, and I was totally mad, dude, because I was like, no, it's their fault. Their fault. But, you know, it wasn't really their fault. You know, yeah, I probably shouldn't have decided to not follow instructions and be all rogue, and I probably wouldn't have had that incident happen. Now, what you're saying is, well, do you still like the ocean now? Do you still like the water now? Nope. I cannot stand to be fully submerged underwater. Now, some people have this phobia or this fear, and they don't even like taking showers. Like, some people have this fear of just getting wet completely. That's not me. You know, I can take showers and all that good stuff. I stay squeaky clean. But when it comes to being fully submerged in the water or going to the ocean or something like that, I can't do it, man. I don't do water parks anymore. And I used to be really into water parks and going to the lake and pools. Now, man, it just don't. No, son. I just, because every time it happens, I remember that day. And I remember the feeling I got of like dying, and it sucks. You know, you don't, anything that puts you back in that state of mind, man, you don't want to do it ever again. And so that's kind of why nowadays I don't do the pool. I have a pool where I live, and I never go down there because, you know, there's always the fear too that somebody's, you know how some people will just duck you underwater, like they'll just grab the top of your head and push you down as kind of like having fun. No, son, I don't ever want that to happen. I think I would straight kill somebody in that pool, son, if they try to duck me underwater for just having fun. No, man, that wouldn't be a good day. So I figured I would share that story with you guys. The time I almost drowned to death, which would have sucked. But I'm here, spoiler alert. You know, I made it. But that is my drowning story. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you have a chance today, go and check out the fan-made teaser trailer by An Average Gamer. Absolutely superb. I've got it right there on screen. Click the annotation. Links in the description. You will not be disappointed. Very, very good video. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.